Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. So what I have for you guys today, I have another episode of the Championship Roundup, guys. So in this video is actually going to be split into two parts, guys. So the first half of the video will be looking over all the weekend's action in the Championship, guys. We'll be going over each individual match, and I'll be very interested to hear some of your guys' opinions on some of this week's action, guys. But then the second half of the video, I'll be giving you my Championship midweek predictions. So I think we've got games going on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So I'll be giving you my predictions for those games as well. So in the comments down below, guys, what I want you to do is first of all leave a comment in the comments down below as to how well you think your team played this weekend. As always, I'll be very interested to hear what you guys have to say. As well as that, make sure you leave in the comments down below your predictions for the midweek game. So as always, in the description I will leave all the fixtures that are taking place this week so you guys can make your predictions. But before we do get into anything here, guys, I will leave your comments on screen now. So if any of you guys did manage to get any of your predictions right for this weekend's games, I'll leave your comment on screen now. So fair play to everyone that did leave a comment. I think in this week we got over 300 comments, which was just absolutely mental, guys. So thank you so much for that. So we're going to round up this week's Championship fixtures now, guys. So the first game we have to talk about being played on Friday night was Reading going up against Ipswich. Now, I actually predicted this one was going to be a 1-1 draw, and I was so close to getting this one right, actually. It was only a last-minute penalty, which meant that Reading were actually going to win this one. And it was a bit of a funny game, really, in all honesty. I mean, there was all three goals that were scored in this match. All three of them were penalties, so it's a bit of an odd one, this one, really. I think a couple of the decisions that the referee did make in this match were debatable at best. I mean, some of the penalties that were given, I think I can see an argument as to why the opposition fans thought they perhaps weren't a penalty. So, and as always, as you can see, Reading did dominate the possession in this match, which is what can be expected from them by now. So the 3 points they got from that managed to propel them up the league quite handily, actually. And Ipswich, it seems to be quite a stop-start so far this season with Ipswich. I mean, they didn't have the best of transfer windows, and so far the results this season haven't been the best. So it'll be interesting to see where Ipswich can actually go from here. Next game we then have is Brighton going up against Brentford. So Brentford actually managed to walk away with a 2-0 victory away to Brighton at the Amex. It was actually Scott Hogan who managed to bag a brace in this match to guarantee all 3 points to Brentford, and Brighton really did look off the pace in this match. Even though they did have more possession and more shots than Brentford in this match, Brighton never really had that quality in the final third which they were really lacking, and it's been a sort of a continuation this really with Brighton. I think their last 3 games now they've looked off the pace. So Brighton more than ever will be looking to pick themselves up from this poor dip of form they've had at this point in time. I mean, they started the season terrifically. They were one of the best teams to start the league, but since then they managed to fall off a little bit, and I don't know what's really gone wrong with this Brighton side. They just look weak in front of goal, but this, however, was not the case for Brentford, who looked fantastic, both going forward and stable at the back as well. They've got a good balance, I think, in this Brentford side, and it's been a very good start for Brentford this year. I mean, they've had a couple of inconsistencies, but overall, I think it's been a very good start from Brentford. So the next match we then go to is Fulham going up against Birmingham. So in this match, Birmingham managed to narrowly win by a 1-0 goal margin, but Fulham in this match, similarly to Brighton, really, they looked off the pace in this one, I must say, and they weren't aided by Medill getting the red card late on in the first half. That allowed in the second half for Birmingham to have the limelight of possession and the chances, which allowed that sort of scope to the rest of the match, I suppose. But Fulham, not the best from them in this match, but to be honest, it's been a very good start from Fulham this season. I wasn't expecting Fulham to start as well as they actually have done, but not the best showing from Fulham in this match. They'll be hoping to bounce back from this on Tuesday night, and whether they can do that, that's obviously up to you guys and what you think about that. But Birmingham in this match were the better side, and in the end, I thought they were deserved winners, and they did walk away with all 3 points in the end. The next match we then go to is Leeds United coming up against Huddersfield Town. Now, for this match, I actually managed to predict this scoreline yet again with Huddersfield. I don't know what it is, but I think that's like the 4th or 5th. It's something crazy that I managed to correctly predict the Huddersfield scoreline, but I managed to do it again. I said it was going to be a 1-0 win to Huddersfield, and in the end, it was just that. So a very interesting game, this one, actually. I think Gary Monk will be put under quite a bit of pressure after this match, and I think if they fail to get a result on Tuesday night, I think the pressure that will be put on Gary Monk will be immense now. I mean, with the way that the Leeds board is and the way that Chiellino is the owner, you know, managers at Leeds United don't get a lot of time, and he really does demand instant success at the club, and obviously that's not what Gary Monk has been able to do so far. I think if given time, I think Gary Monk could be the right man for Leeds United, but it's a short-term sort of job, this Leeds United one, which no one seems to have got right so far. And it was a spectacular long-range hit, which managed to guarantee Huddersfield all 3 points in this one. So Huddersfield so far, they just keep going on and keep going on. So however long this unbeaten streak can go on for Huddersfield, I'll be amazed to see. But they currently sit top of the Championship, and fairly so. Going up to the next match, we can then go to Carrow Road, and in this one, Norwich managed to walk away victorious with a 3-2 victory over Cardiff. Now, it was a late surge of goals in this game, which almost let Cardiff back into this game, but in the end, Norwich were able to hold on for all 3 points. And so far this season, it hasn't been the best of starts for Cardiff, so they could have really done with getting something from this match. So I'll be very interested to see actually how Cardiff are going to approach the game on Tuesday against my team, Preston North End. Obviously, both teams not having the best starts of the season. Ricky Lambert did play in this match. He caused a bit of trouble for the Norwich defence, but of course it'll take him a bit of time to embed into this Cardiff City side. But Norwich, on the other hand, did look the better team in this game, I must say that. And this win actually has propelled them up to 5th in the league now. So more about where Norwich will be looking to be at the end of the season. But I do think in the last 10 minutes there was a bit of a scare for Norwich fans really as to whether Cardiff would actually get something from this match. They were close to doing it, but in the end Norwich did manage to hold on for all 3 points. So Norwich and Cardiff fans, what did you think of this game? Because to me it looked like a pretty entertaining one, to say the least. Going up into our next match then, guys, we then go to Deepdale, where Preston actually were beaten 2-1 by Barnsley in this match. I thought in the first half Barnsley had the better of the chances and the better of the possession as well, and that was just topped off really with Barnsley going in at half-time with a 1-0 lead thanks to a Sam Winnall goal. Preston did show an improvement in the second half. I think that has to be said. I think when Preston switched to a 4-4-2, I thought Preston showed a massive improvement, and Aidan McGeady actually then managed to get Preston back into this game with a fantastic curling effort into the top corner. It was a fantastic goal. I don't know if you guys have seen the goal, but it really was a great goal. But it was actually Barnsley in the end who did manage to steal all 3 points. A late goal. It was Adam Armstrong, a fantastic piece of skill to flick it past Baptiste and to get the goal on the counter-attack. In the end, I don't know what I thought of this match really. I thought in the first half, I thought for 20 minutes Preston really showed what they were about, and they were the better team for about 20 minutes in this match. But for the rest of it, Barnsley were on top in this match, and really I can't have too many complaints being a Preston fan in this one. I thought Barnsley were deserved winners in the end, and it's been it's been a fantastic start for Barnsley this season. They keep on defying what everyone else has thought of them so far, but yeah, a fantastic start for Barnsley, and who knows where they'll end up this season. The next game we then go into is QPR coming up against Blackburn Rovers. Now, for this one as well, I managed to correctly guess the scoreline too, so I think this week I managed to correctly guess the scoreline to 2 games, so that's not bad going from me in my opinion. But for this one, QPR, for the majority of the match, QPR were on top in this match, and it was a fantastic free kick from Cherry which allowed them to get into the lead against Blackburn. However, Blackburn were able to salvage a point in this match with a good header really from Sam Gallagher. I think that's his 2nd goal now for Blackburn. He's obviously on the loan from Southampton. So far this season, I think Blackburn have showed us gradual improvement from the way they started this season, but they're still looking for that first win, and whether they're going to avoid the drop this season, it's still yet to be seen, of course. But Owen Cole, I think there's still a bit of work he needs to do with this Blackburn side. But I do think QPR will have been disappointed in this match, since they did have enough chances to win this match really, and they're going up against a side like Blackburn Rovers. I mean, not the best from QPR, but in terms of a performance, I thought QPR did actually play quite well in this match. I thought they had some good spells in this match where they were on top for the majority, but it was just that, once again, it was that in the final third they just couldn't get the winner in this one. The next game we then have is Rotherham going up against Bristol City. So for this one, they actually managed to finish 2-2 in the end, and the funny thing I think about this match is that I don't think any set of fans was really happy with the result in this one, because Rotherham in the end managed to throw away a 2-0 lead. It was a fantastic start to the game from Rotherham, but in the second half they just looked off the pace a little bit. I think, to be fair to Rotherham, I thought they did have the chances in this game to make it 3-0, and if you go 3-0 up against the side, you know, really that puts it to bed. But the fact that Bristol City were able to keep it 2-0 down when Rotherham were on top really was a detriment to Rotherham. And I thought that Bristol City fans will be happy that they managed to come from 2-0 down to make it 2-2 in the end. But saying that, later on in this match, Bristol City definitely had the chances in this game to go on and win the match 3-2. So if either side had managed to get the win, you know, either set of fans will be buzzing with it. But if you look at the possession and the shots that Bristol City had in this match, you know, that was just absolutely obscene. They had 35 shots in this match, and to top that off as well, they also had 75% possession. So it really was a funny old one, this game. And Rotherham, of course, will be very disappointed to throw away a 2-0 lead in the first half. But saying that, Bristol City had the majority of possession in this one. The next game we then go into is Sheffield Wednesday going up against Wigan Athletic. So for this one, Sheffield Wednesday managed to walk away with a 2-1 victory over Wigan at home. I think this match was massive for Sheffield Wednesday, actually. It's not been the best of starts to the season for them, and if they weren't able to get something from this, if they weren't able to win this match, really, I really think a bit of pressure would have been put under their players they've got at the club. But it was actually Wigan who did start this game the brighter, with Will Grigg managing to find the back of the net after just 5 minutes and to put them in front. And I think a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans at the start of this game will have been thinking, more of the same's yet to come for this match, but that wasn't the case. It was 2 goals from Fletcher and Forestieri who managed to turn this game on its head. And maybe Sheffield Wednesday fans, do you think this game right here will be the catalyst for success right now? Because the target come the end of the season for Sheffield Wednesday this season has to be promotion. So do you think it could be this game which is the defining point of the season, and do you think it could be this now which endures you to go on for a better start to the season? I think after this match, Wigan will be looking to bounce back on Tuesday night, but saying that, that's not going to be an easy one. They've got Norwich coming up next, so definitely not an easy one for that, so who knows what will happen in that game. The next game we then have is Wolves going up against Burton Albion. So for this one, a last minute Burton Albion equaliser managed to salvage them a point in this match. So this one was a bit of a topsy-turvy game as well. In the first half, Burton Albion actually missed a penalty. It was Akimi with a good save from the penalty spot, but in this game I did feel like Wolves played some good football. I thought for large majorities of this match and for a lot of spells in this match, Wolves were playing some nice football, but they just weren't able to capitalise on it and score more than 1 goal. So in the end, this match they actually finished 1-1, but if I was being a Wolves fan, I wouldn't be too deterred with not getting all 3 points from this match as much as they would have liked to. But I do think that Walter Zenga has done well so far this season, and I think there's a lot more to come this season from Wolves fans. And from Preston as well, I thought that really summed up their never die attitude, you know, to hang on and to hold on in this game until the last minute when they did actually manage to find the equaliser. I thought that really did sum up Burton Albion so far this season. The next game we then go to is Derby County against Newcastle United. So for this one, Newcastle managed to walk away with a 2-0 win away to Derby County. So for this one, Dwight Gale was back in the squad after he was absent from their last game, but it was actually Gouffran who opened the scoring with a fantastic volley. It really was a great goal. If you've not seen it, I definitely recommend you go and watch it. But Newcastle now do look up and running for this season. They're now in 2nd in the league, and they'll of course be looking to chase down Huddersfield as soon as possible. But in terms of Derby County, once again they looked off the pace in this match, and you know, from hopes at the start of the season for promotion, could they be out the window yet? Of course they can't be, but it's been their lack of goals this season which really has been the problem for Derby County. So what needs to change, Derby fans? Because I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, if you look at that squad man for man, Derby County probably had one of the best squads in the Championship, but something's just not clicking for them right at this point in time. So Derby County fans, what do you think the rest of this season has in store? Let me know in the comments down below. And then to the last game being played on Sunday, guys, we have Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 2. This one was a bit of a crazy match, actually. I watched this game, it was on Sky Sports, and it was a bit of a crazy match, really. A fantastic goal from Rudy Gestede really managed to top off Aston Villa's good performance they had for the majority of this match. And as the game was going into its final stages, I thought that Aston Villa really should have had this in the bag, and this is the sort of game which Aston Villa, if they are wanting to get promotion, this is the sort of game which Aston Villa need to be winning. However, a last-ditch equaliser from Henry Lansbury managed to salvage a point for Nottingham Forest in the most dramatic of fashions, and it was actually a red card. I think Pereira got a red card for the celebration after that goal, which was a bit questionable. I'd be very interested to hear some of your opinions on that, Nottingham Forest fans. But in the end, I did think it was a good point for Nottingham Forest to get. But saying that, I think Aston Villa, these are the sort of games which Villa really do need to be winning. So now, guys, I am going to go into my predictions for the games being played on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So as always, guys, make sure you get your predictions in for what you think will happen in the comments down below. But here are my predictions. I'm just going to go over them quite quickly. So I've got Brighton to draw against Huddersfield. I think that could be a bit of a controversial one, but I do actually fancy Brighton to get something from this match. Derby against Ipswich, I've gone for a 0-0, considering Derby's lack of goals this season. Fulham against Burton, I fancy Fulham to just about script that one. I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1 Burton, 2-1 Fulham, sorry. Then we've got Leeds United. I fancy them to just tip Blackburn, 2-1 victory there. Then I've got Norwich to beat Wigan 2-0. I'm actually going to say Cardiff are going to beat Preston by 1-0. I just don't have any confidence as a Preston fan that we're going to get anything at this point in time. QPR against Newcastle, I fancy Newcastle to just edge that one. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-1 win to Newcastle with the form that they're currently in. Sheffield Wednesday against Bristol, so I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1. Wolves against Barnsley, I think Wolves will just about edge that one, 2-1 to Wolves. And then Reading against Birmingham, I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-2. And then to the games being played on Wednesday, we've got Aston Villa going to Brentford. For this one, I'm going to fancy Aston Villa to go and get this one. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Brentford did actually get something from this match. I've been very impressed with how Brentford have gone about their season so far, but I'm going to say it's going to be Aston Villa are just about going to edge this one, 2-1 to Aston Villa. And then for the final game, we have Rotherham against Nottingham Forest. I actually fancy Rotherham to get something from this match, so I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1. So guys, that will now wrap it up for this video. So if you have enjoyed, make sure you do leave a like on the video. It is always massively appreciated. As well as that, make sure you check out all the links in the description down below. But apart from that, make sure you subscribe for regular Championship content, and I'll see you all in the next one.